Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the information box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Jose, Travis and Arwin. Good to have you all.
Hello. What?
Hello.
No horn.
What's up, guys?
You didn't bring your bullhorn for the game, Travis?
Saturday.
I don't need a bullhorn. I just speak and my voice carries. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing, Jose?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. Wait. Yeah. So
Did we get a hello from Jose?
yeah, he said hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Good to have you all. So, any signs of curvature?
Ooh, well, not on the Earth.
About axial
No.
rotation. Any signs of axial rotation?
Yeah, lots of it. Not of the Earth, no.
Nope.
No.
Any signs of a gas pressure without a container?
Never.
Impossible.
No.
Entropy is inherent to matter.
Really? But so many people believe they live in a vacuum of space. It's amazing. What about the distance to the sun? Any signs of that?
There is none of that.
None of that.
We'll have none of that.
We'll have none of that distance to the sun nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need no stinking distance to the sun.
Could follow it up with, like, what's the distance to a rainbow? Just so people get the point. What's the distance to a rainbow? Well, you can't get a distance to a rainbow.
just
It's only got an
apparent.
apparent position. Right, what's the distance to the sun? Oh, it's 93 million miles. I've been told. The authorities told me.
So what is the apparent distance to the sun?
Well, it's just an apparent distance.
I know, but what would you size it up at? That's literally what it is, apparently. So,
About that big.
if you would look at it, what would you feel it to be?
About that big.
No, but just, would you like say, yeah, maybe like 3,000 miles or something, or is it
I'd
like
be a bit less specific. I'd say
100
about
kilometers or something?
I'd say about that far, roughly.
Yeah. All right. Right.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Come on.
far away.
So you have no conception of distance when you observe the sun, basically.
Oh,
You're
no.
that
Yeah, but it's-
hardcore. Are you that hardcore, Nathan?
I much prefer the authorities to conceptualize it for me, write it in a book, and just tell me.
You know what? It's difficult it's difficult to guess an apparent distance, because the first time I grabbed the camera and zoom in and I saw a smoke tower and a building, it looked a little like hazy. I didn't know where it was. And I was looking in the map. It was like 14 miles away. But it looked closer, but it looked further at the same time. I mean, it's difficult to see something and just guess a distance. It's not possible.
So what what did you feel at that moment the distance was?
What did you
roughly?
feel? Because that's what it's
I
all
actually,
about.
I actually thought it was maybe 5 or 6 miles away.
Wow.
Like for real, and it was a little more than double the distance.
Right.
Right,
So
any-
you were very close to sea level at that time?
Yes.
Would you say it matters how far away the distance feels what height you are, somehow, intuitively. Is it like that?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, probably because the higher you go, the more angle you have, so you're gonna see more landscape
Right.
below
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you know.
that's
So you're gonna have a better guess, you know.
so it kind of intuitively depends on how far your angle of view is. Basically, what? Yeah. So it is really like a rainbow because a rainbow has the same effect. You could see a rainbow in the distance, but you can see pretty much the same rainbow very close by if you just spray a little water vapor right in front of you, basically, when the sun is out, right?
Yeah, yeah, but that's still a whole different scenario than you've
But
got
you
a
have
physical.
another, oh yeah, you have another backdrop, basically. So the backdrop kind of makes your visual intelligence size up like, yeah, okay, so it must be like this size. See that routine process?
There's a
It's
lot of
still gonna be
times.
an
That's all.
speculation.
It's all non-scientific. It's purely Yeah, it's purely. Well, the observation is it's personal. It's always,
Talking of
yeah. The distance
science,
is always relating to the observer. So
speaking of science, any scientific evidence of gravity?
I'm working on it. There are signs.
No.
Nope.
Well,
I've seen the
evidence for the
signs.
self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. Any evidence of that? Reared its head.
Evidence
No.
at the presupposed Earth. Think carefully.
Yeah. How can they extrapolate from a volcano or earthquakes or
No,
volcano? Well,
no,
how
no.
you know about the molten iron core?
No, I was thinking again, like even if you presuppose the Earth is a sphere, then you still have no evidence that it's molten in the presupposed core of that sphere. So actually, no, I'm gonna just say no from now on. Because even if you presuppose that sphere, there's no evidence of that molten iron there.
What is one of the arguments? They say volcanoes, right? I mean, yeah, I kind of heard that. I think I don't know why. How can you derive a molten iron core of a volcano?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
you just have to presuppose it again. But
Well, wouldn't that
no,
just
it's
simply
not happening.
be? Wouldn't that just simply be something that they would have extrapolated from the observation? So, say for instance, we never had any volcanic activity. Would we have a molten iron core hypothesis?
I think a core that's made of very, very hot water is equally likely because I see water sprouting out of the ground. So
Sure.
I think we've got
Sure.
a
Yeah.
water-based
True.
core.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that you've got observations, and then you just simply extrapolate from that something that you are just surmising. You're just
Yeah. I
postulating.
don't think. I don't think if that idea wasn't implanted in us, we would have never arrived to that conclusion
Excuse
ever.
me.
Yeah.
How dare you? Water-based core is fact. I made it up myself.
So what about the concept that shale may be down there instead?
If you want to pretend there's upper levels and lower levels like in the Bible and various other religious texts, then that's your bag. Just show me evidence of it and I'll...
Not levels. It's just that there might be a giant cavern, basically beneath our known continents.
And a dragon
But
breathing
just in the
fire.
Earth. It wouldn't be like another plane that had similar elements, but just a giant cavern.
No, it's more like banana inside. Because... No, seriously.
Yeah.
No, if the Earth is a banana, then you'll see two rotating light points at the tip of each banana. And we do see
Oh, no, you didn't.
two rotating points at the tip of the end of each banana. Therefore, the Earth is a banana. It's just a fact.
What's the measurement of the arc?
It's the angle of the dangle. That's what that is.
Alright. Yeah.
So yeah, the Earth's more like a banana,
yeah.
and inside is
Why
soft and
not,
squidgy
you know?
and delicious.
Well, that
Why not?
model depends on how the Earth masses layout interconnect, really.
They're like a skin.
That allows malleability.
Yeah, like
you
a
can
skin.
mold with whatever landmass as long as it properly interconnects. Yeah.
Yeah, like a banana.
So
You're with me then.
yeah, well, if there's
We're
more
all in
land to the
agreement.
north and the south, then yeah, a banana. Why not? Some kind of stick, or
You heard him,
yeah,
people. Research Dick Earth.
yeah, yeah. But that's the silly thing. It's just one of those things about you. You say that, and it's hilarious. But yeah, well, if you persist on calling it a dick, but maybe that is like the rectangular looping Earth, even the most base model that I could think of, basically kind of is that shape. It just doesn't suggest it's interconnected. It doesn't like a literal cone. But yeah, if you want to take that literal, yeah, why not dick Earth? You know,
Because I made it up. Because it's all bollocks. Well, not all bollocks. Mostly dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, a funny thing is sometimes people unwittingly make up things that turn out to make more sense than they originally intended to.
I mean, I heard worse. I heard Tortuga Earth and oblate spheroid Earth and pear-shaped Earth. Why not banana Earth? You know?
Yeah, why this big monolith in front of the White House? You know?
Exactly. Dick Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's real. It sounds so funny, but maybe kind of. It all depends on what you're going to persist that form of shape actually is supposed to be representing. If you're going to call it a dick, yeah, that's very phallic. But maybe that is kind of the shape.
Nah.
Monolith, one
I
of
just
the
made it
oldest,
up,
most
so
mysterious things
It's conclusively
that are
nonsense. I literally used a formal logical fallacy to prove Dick Earth and, buying it. I mean, I
Proof.
can't quite believe what's happening. I've just made it up.
Right.
Well, there we go then. You'll buy anything.
No, it's how ideas can be born. There might be something to it. That's what I'm saying. It is a viable option, and there are some tie-ins.
Can't believe my ears.
With-
I've got to
with
stop to
cu-
this.
with
It's not a viable
cultural
option. I just
occultism.
made it up. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I know it's fantasy to you. That's fine. But there may be something more to it than you
Oh my
are
god.
willing to
I
accept.
can't believe
Even.
this is happening. There might be more
Yeah.
something more to it. Oh god.
Yeah. Sorry.
Somebody shoot
Sorry.
me.
You're a secret conspiracy genius. And you
Shoot
didn't
me,
even
shoot
want
me
to
in the
be.
face. Shoot me in
You're
the
gonna
face
be
right
famous. You're gonna be famous, man. You were right. It was a dick.
now. If that ends up being my legacy, Nathan Oakley was right all along. The Earth is a dick.
Wow.
God, I hope not.
I'm not excluding it. Really, I am not. Hey, Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, Warren?
I'm cool, thanks. And you?
Very well. Very well. You broke
Right
that.
on time for the last important question on the housekeeping.
Any evidence of the presupposition itself? The R value, gentlemen? Any evidence of that?
R.
No.
There's no R on Dick Earth.
Well, is there evidence? How did you pronounce it again?
The R value?
If there is evidence of an R value.
Well,
Right.
obviously,
Well, yeah.
always. Don't even dare. Always
Mhm.
Earth-based, Arwin. Always. Don't
So,
give me the R
how would
value
you
for a
say it?
snooker ball or some stupid thing like that. I'm not interested. It's
Come on,
flat
come on.
Earth debate, right?
Say it right. Say it right. You can. You're a champion, man. You can do it.
What? Did you have a really good jape?
No, I know you can say it exactly perfect. Riley does a lot of effort to do it, and I've seen you do it too, especially against Globers. So
I don't know what you're talking about. You'll have to explain, Arwin. I've completely lost
evidence
plot
of
here.
the R value. Ask it right.
Any evidence of the R value?
Yeah, of course there is an R value.
No.
The
Yeah, it's
Earth-based
part of
radius.
mathematics.
Oh, I
Oh.
see. Any evidence? Right. Earth radius, gentlemen. Any evidence of that?
Earth radius. Damn it. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Fair enough. I'm not that sharp, obviously, this morning, Arwin, or this afternoon.
So
Don't even
it's
know
all
what time
right,
of day
you're
it is.
still suffering from a cold, right?
Because my brain's been frazzled from you buying Dick Earth temporarily or otherwise.
It's a spell.
That was started off by,
Wizard of R.
I think it was Snack to the Future and Haunted House had a bit of a hand in it.
Oh,
And
by the way,
go
I
on.
have one more remark. You realize that a Dick Earth would have a radius, right?
Sure. Very good, Arwin. Yeah, it was basically those guys, Snack to the Future and a few others that were taking the piss out of Lord Stephen Christ because he'd come in and troll with concave Earth. So it's always their spin on concave Earth basically is what how Dick Earth evolved to take the piss out of him and his nonsense with concavity to Earth and the stars being in the centre and all that stuff.
Yeah, big shout out to Jorge from Argentina in the chat. He say he's upside down from us.
Antipode. You're not antipode.
Antipode.
I think I'm in a comedic mood because I watched the Robin Williams, his life documentary, basically. It's all-round comedy. I guess that's why I'm joking around so much.
Hey, jokes aside, Arwin, in these last couple of days, with your argument, with your discussions on gravity with Riley and the other guys, and I was just watching the rerun of the Iron Realm Media podcast they did a few days ago. Very interesting, and they gave you kudos because it's a very interesting subject to talk. You know?
I know. I'm very glad to report that my stance in the gravity debate has blown up a lot of dust, and I like that. That's what I want. So, excellent.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm making progress. It's just very difficult. There's so much angles to the material I'm working with. I'm just figuring. Yeah, basically now I've conceded I can't prove it, so it's no use looking for that until something bizarre, cataclysmic, or whatever happens, or some. Let's not get into that. But yeah, there are still just a lot of elements going around, a lot of observations going around, and I'm just figuring out density and buoyancy, and like, yeah, what is that, and how are you guys approaching it? I'm just noticing that you're prescribing the effect as a cause of force, and that's technically just incorrect because it's just an effect, a form of displacement in a certain arrangement. It's not explaining where the actual force, where the pressure, where the displacement is coming from, unless you claim as a cause that matter itself just has this directional force inherent to the mass, which is a technical solution, but still it's just as good as claiming Cavendish gravity, you know? So yeah, that's how far I got so far, and will be continued.
Yeah, this is what I kind of step aside and just keep listening for the arguments presented because to me, for my, English understanding, which is not my first language, I'm not very articulate in explaining none of this, all this cause and effects and all these forces and shit. I just cannot argue or have a discussion about it. I like
It's
listening, I
okay.
like learning, but it's not my forte, you know.
I know I'm kind of monologuing when I do that. I realize that because it is, yeah, kind of like what teachers do. They explain something complicated. I'm just mostly putting it out there because I afterwards listened to the show and just listened to what I said, to
I give you
purely
kudos because
observe what I actually said, because most of what I do, I just do it on the run, and then afterwards I can listen like how real is this? How well can I use this? I'm just building constantly, trying to figure it out.
Or to put it
before
another
sleeping
way,
warrior jump in, welcome.
carry on, Anthony.
What I can tell you, Arwin, is kudos because for English not being your first language, I think it's not You're doing pretty good in the word salad. I mean, in the wording, you rephrase things. I'm just kidding with you.
Thank you, thank you. I strive to perfect my verbal communication skills. I have invested a lot into that since my teen times, when I was basically considered by some people to just be autistic and barely communicating. So yeah, I've come a long way. Some people will argue too far, because sometimes I don't stop talking. Yeah, but yeah, it's better than it used to be, and I get a lot of practice.
Well, we look forward to you making it up as you go along more in future.
Thank you.
Hey Anthony, haven't heard from you as yet. How you doing?
Good morning.
Afternoon.
So, Arwin, about that gravity. You described it that we're seeing the effect. We're calling the effect a cause, and you don't agree with that, right?
Sorry, you sound very
I sound very what?
slow. Can you say that again?
I sound very slow.
Just buying
Yeah.
time.
I was speaking slowly so that I didn't make a mistake, and now you're asking me to say it again because I spoke slow?
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention. Sorry.
You said that we are describing an effect rather than a cause, correct?
Right. Buoyancy effect.
A buoyancy effect, okay? So, what is this salt with the egg experiment if it's not a cause?
It's not inserting of force. It's changing the solution, changing the very structure.
Right.
Of
Now we're getting to it. So we put the
everything.
salt in and we see it do something, right? We see the effect of the salt going in. So we know the salt is doing something. In
Right. Well,
contrast,
there is. You could say that the balance of forces, which is a balance, according to the official system, is shifted because. Yeah, there. I guess you could say that adding salt may be kind of like a chemical. Yeah, since that you can have chemical pressure or chemical force, like tightening of muscle is basically chemical, for example. So yeah, maybe there is like a slight force extra introduced, causing a shift in that buoyancy level and everything. But there are still forces that are putting it all there in the first place.
but you remember the definition of force from yesterday, right? Physical interaction.
Yeah, there is a physical interaction, isn't it?
Well, we know that we put salt in and we know that it makes something happen.
Right. Well, if you drop an egg in that, it's gonna immediately find its position. So
Yeah. And then if you put salt in the water, we can make it move its position.
so how from just having it in your hand and letting it go, which is absolute minimum effort, does that whole thing introduce a succession of displacement, which is in the form of buoyancy? Where is that coming from? Where's that force
Because it changes the density of the
that
water
causes that
around the egg.
displacement? All of it.
Because
No,
it changes.
no, that's a description. That's not the
No,
cause.
that's what it does.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly
It's not a
what it
description.
does. Is a description.
It's an action. It's not a description. It's an action.
It is a description. Exactly what you said.
No, it changes the density of the water.
Yeah, I already explained
Right.
that.
So
I
if it
already
changes the
explained
density of
how
the
that
water-
system. Yeah,
if
you
it
keep on
changes the density of
ignoring
the
everything.
water-
You just
Oh, and if it
be
changes
so
the density of the
political
water,
about it. You just
caused
do you
by
have like a
force.
paper in front of you and you just wait until you can continue the lines and then you repeat it? Because it's always the same shit, man.
Yeah, because you always say the same shit, and
No,
it's
I
always
don't
wrong.
say the same shit. I try to adapt all the time.
Yeah, you say the same shit, and it's always wrong. You always say things
No.
like density and buoyancy doesn't explain what we see. Extra forces.
No,
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
That is
It
what you
does
always say.
explain what you see because it's an effect. It
So you
explains how that
describe.
works. It's the model for
So
it.
you describe. So we have an effect, right? But you don't think
It's
there's a
not
cause.
a source of force.
So you keep calling it an effect, right? Does that mean, by virtue of the fact that you're not identifying a cause, does it mean that you think there is no cause?
It's an organization of displacement effects.
Caused by what, though?
Yeah, exactly. Caused by what?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we know we've just put salt in, and we know we've altered the density of the water, right?
It doesn't change the cause. It's just adding another
That is
element.
the cause.
There's still something causing all that displacement to happen in the first place,
But it doesn't happen
which
without
we
putting the salt in,
identify as buoyancy.
doesn't happen without
That's
putting the
the
salt in, though,
effect.
does it?
That's the effect of,
No,
of some
Alvin,
kind of force
stop
being
monologuing.
applied, causing it to organize the way it does.
Come on, short sentences and stop monologuing. We know that when we put the salt in, it changes, right?
I don't understand why
I'm
this
not
cannot
gonna
be a
go there
discussion. A
again.
discussion. Hold on, Erwin. I don't understand why this cannot be a discussion instead of the getting all the anime. You know, just keep it easy. Keep the dialogue going. Don't get aggravated. You know.
I don't want to go through this shit again. It's
Well, stop saying
all
silly
the
things then.
freaking egg and salt and all that shit, man.
Yeah, but
Dude, I eat
salt
eggs
and
for
egg
bread. I
is
eat eggs
fantastic.
for lunch. Okay,
Because it
every
gives
day.
us a cause and
It's
it
enough.
gives us an effect, and we can play around with it and we can manipulate it and change how much of an effect we want based on how much salt.
Oh,
we put.
really, Nathan? You want me to leave? Is that what you want, Nathan? Are you going to do this shit?
What are you asking me for?
You're presenting this shit. I asked you to stop referencing to the freaking egg. You do this all the time.
No, but the egg
Not
is
a source
fantastic.
of force.
Alvin, the egg is fantastic.
It's not a source of the force causing the entire effect. It's just
Yeah, it is.
adding something.
It is the source, because without the salt going in, nothing happens. It stays the same.
Yeah, but how did it get there in the first place?
We put it in. There was a physical
Put it
interaction
in?
with the
So,
salt.
well, if you drop it and it costs very little energy, it's going to drop right in there and displace all by itself without anyone
Right.
introducing
Even Rumpus will
anything
agree with me.
measurable.
Even Rumpus will agree with me that by changing
really?
the density of the water with the salt,
Rumpus,
it's
go.
causing a
Because I'm done with this shit. I'm sick of it.
So
You're
stop saying
but
silly things then.
you're more right than Anthony.
I know
so
I
be
am.
confident in that.
Hey,
Okay, on
Rumpus.
what, like, so Arwin, Shush, Rumpus, on what basis is he more right?
Well, you don't understand. Let me just. Well, you don't
Hang
understand
on, you
lots of
don't
things.
know what I understand, so let's not
Well-
start with that sentence.
Hold on, let me just do a screen grab here. Yeah, I just thought I'd come back and finish off the rest of the remaining third of my explanation on buoyancy. Well, you don't understand buoyancy for a start. You
Well,
don't
you don't
understand.
understand what I understand or not. And let's not
Well,
remember I'm higher qualified than you, so let's not go there.
you're what?
Higher qualified and higher educated than you.
You're not.
Wow.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
You're much more stupid than I am. You've got a lower IQ than I am. You know much less
All right,
than
so
I
cool
do.
then. Let's go with the
You can't-
density then.
Come on, stop measuring dicks and get on with it.
Well, he's an idiot. Well, I just thought I'd finish off the thing about the neutral buoyancy thing that you got confused about, and I've tied up my diagram to make it a little bit cleaner, a bit more understandable than I had last time. So I thought I thought I'd just finish off the explanation.
Go on then.
Yeah, I just thought so. This business with buoyancy and weight. I think we sort of got the weight of an object and the reaction of the ground that it's on acts like a spring. But then we're getting onto the buoyancy business, and so we have an object here. So I've drawn it in the shape of an egg, but it could be anything, and it has a weight, and it displaces some water, as you can see over here. Oh, so I should have gone to the left here. There's a couple of bit of housekeeping, you might want to call it, of the terms that you have to get to grips with: density, mass, which is not a force, volume, acceleration due to gravity, and the weight, which is the force due to gravity on an object. And there's a couple of basic formulas here. Density, hopefully we know this, is mass divided by volume. And if you rearrange that formula, you get mass. You just move the V up here. You get mass is equal to the density times V. And the weight of something, which is a force, is the mass times the acceleration due to gravity. So weight is different from mass. You derive the weight of something from its mass times acceleration due to gravity. This is a basic accepted force by everybody in science.
Sorry, Rumpus. Sorry to
Anyway, let me just
so
get on to
quickly.
the buoyancy.
Sorry, bear with me,
So
Rumpus.
those are the basics.
Sorry, density P equals mv. What's that?
Density, which is called rho, actually. Mass divided by volume. So if you want to know the density of something, you would measure its mass, you'd measure its volume, divide by the volume, and you end up with the density. And I've just rearranged that formula there to move the V over to the other side, so you get M is equal to rho times V. So this formula 2 is just a rearrangement of formula 1. And that's the basic definition of density that everybody, even
and is that your measurement?
11-year-old, no.
Sorry, I just got a supplementary question. So is that your measure for the medium?
Yes, I do have a little thing, the medium here, because I've got the displaced water, and I've got the water over here, and it's got a
Okay, flat Earth
density. I've
data.
got a little row with a little subscript of W.
Hold on. Earth Journey.
How you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, so here's the density of the medium it's in.
I've just got one last
the
question, then I'll let you carry
displaced
on. Really sorry. So with your 2 balls example, is
Oh, it's
the
just
medium...
one. Oh, you mean you don't mean the buoyancy thing? You mean the thing above here?
Yeah, you've got
This
a
is
spring
the
with
displaced
rocks
water. I
on
haven't
it.
made this clear yet. Here's the object that you've put in the
Sorry,
water.
I didn't actually get to ask my. I didn't get to ask my
displaced-
supplementary question. So my supplementary question was, those 2 balls. Is
There
the
aren't 2 balls.
Yeah, they're above.
Oh, here, up here. Oh, right.
Yeah. So is the medium spring? Is that the medium?
No, well, to simplify things, this is in a vacuum. We can think of this as being in a vacuum. So
Density and buoyancy is based around the medium that things are in, is it not?
Sorry, say that again. I missed that.
Density and buoyancy is based around the medium that things are in.
No, it isn't. No. If I have an object, using this formula here, the density of an object is simply its mass. So you can weigh that on some scales.
That was my first question. My first question, P equals M over V, is that regarding the medium?
No, it's the object that you're measuring.
So where's the medium?
It's not involved in density.
Why doesn't that fall under the same exact formula?
Well, the medium does. Yeah, okay, that's something else as well. You have the density of the object, and you can have the density of the medium. So yes,
right.
you can.
So I'll ask my question again. Is the medium of the 2 balls the spring?
What on earth are you talking about? There's an object here, a ball,
yes,
and the spring is a conceptual model of the way that the surface that it's sitting on responds. So you can think of it as having a spring.
But it's you're basing this about the medium that things are in.
There is no medium in this example.
There is.
Just a ball.
There is.
No, there
in
isn't.
your example,
No.
that's why I'm saying that's my problem. Your example is nonsense because it doesn't have a medium. So to explain, why are you now making a lot of noise? So we're talking about how much things get displaced in various mediums. Shut up, whoever's talking. We're talking about how much of the medium is displaced. And for some reason in this example, you've removed the medium and replaced it with a conceptual spring.
No, well, this is a simple...
Sorry, is that no? You haven't done that.
There's no medium in this example.
No. Is that no, I haven't removed the medium and replaced it with a spring? Or yes, I have removed the medium and replaced it with a spring? Yes or no?
This is a model without a medium.
That's not a yes or no.
I have removed it. I never added it to remove it.
Sorry, removed what? The atmosphere, the medium that we're all in?
I haven't removed anything because I haven't added anything.
What do you mean, added anything? It's a picture. It's a picture, and you're telling us that you've removed the medium. The very
I've not
thing
removed anything because I haven't. You've got to add
so
things.
There's
to
a medium there, then.
And I haven't added a medium.
So what's the medium?
There is no medium.
So you've removed the medium then?
No, I haven't removed it because I never added. To remove something, you've got to add it.
You never added it.
Oh, so I never added it, so I didn't have to remove it.
We would assume it's in a medium. We're talking about density and buoyancy.
For fuck's sake.
No, that's the second example. That's point number 2. I'm doing 2 explanations.
So what's point number 1?
One is to do with a ball in a vacuum.
Well, why? We're not in a bloody vacuum. Who gives a crap?
Because as you've missed out about 5 years of your basic education at school.
No, there's no need for an ad hom. Right, the weight is based on the actual medium that it's in.
There is no medium it's in.
No, I know in your example there's no medium. That's my issue.
Yes, but then we move on to a situation.
Not yes. No,
you
not yes.
You start off with a simple situation.
Not yes.
And
you seem to be scrolling around all over the place. Is this a bit of an issue for you?
What's an issue for me? I missed that first statement.
Yeah. You've removed the medium.
Quite simple. You start off
now
with
you're
a simple,
talking again.
Situation.
Now you're talking
and then
again.
You develop
Is this a problem? Is Rumpus a bit triggered by my questioning?
You're just trying to sabotage the explanation, Nathan. It's quite obvious.
Is this you triggered?
It's not
is this you
reality.
Are you worried by this explanation?
When's the high-pitched voice coming, Rumpus? When's the high-pitched voice coming? So, you've removed the medium.
So you're trying to sabotage this explanation, Nathan.
So you've removed the medium, the very thing we're discussing.
I never added it.
We're talking about density and buoyancy and displacement of mediums.
Stop it!
Yeah, it's all right. I'll shut him up. This is why I've got a mute button. When Rumpus is cornered, this is what he does. We are discussing how things displace their mediums. And Rumpus's example has removed the medium and placed it in a vacuum. He doesn't like me pointing out that he's substituted a medium for a spring, so he's rumpusing the hangout. So currently, nobody in the hangout can hear anything. This is what it sounds like.
And Nathan, you sabotage it.
3.
See? Rumpus
trying to
talking
sabotage
non-stop
things.
because he's cornered.
I'm not cornered at all. What
Oh,
makes you
well,
think
shut
I'm
your
cornered?
mouth and just confirm the following. You have removed the medium.
No, I haven't removed anything.
So there's a medium there.
No, there isn't. I haven't removed it because I never added it. You have
Well,
to
we're
remove.
discussing how things behave in mediums, Rumpus. So why would you not have a medium there? That seems very disingenuous.
No,
It's a
because you
spring.
started with a simple explanation, Nathan. Because
I don't need a simple explanation. I need an accurate explanation, Rumpus. I don't need things dumbing down by a moron like you. No.
So we start off with the simple
No, we don't
stuff,
do anything. We
and
establish
then we get onto the
first
complicated
why
stuff.
you've removed the medium.
This Welsh fish slapping contest.
Because you've got to get it down to the simple principles, and then you can develop them into the more complicated principles.
Sorry, is simplicity putting things in a vacuum chamber? Is that simple?
That is correct. That is simple, yes.
Sorry, hands up, who's got access to a vacuum chamber so we can repeat what Rumpus has
It's
drawn?
conceptually
Shut
simple.
up!
It may not be
Shut
physically
up!
simple.
Hands
Do you
up,
understand the difference?
shut your mouth, Rumpus. Hands up,
Conceptually
shut
simple.
up! Hands up, who's got a vacuum chamber so we can
Conceptually
replicate what Rumpus
simple.
has demonstrated here. Hands up, who's got one?
Conceptually simple.
Shut up!
Got a mute button though.
Shut up!
Conceptually simple.
I'm asking a question to the
Metaphysical.
other panelists, Rumpus. If you don't shut up, I will eject you. You won't get through
Well,
your
you're just
demonstration.
trying to sabotage the explanation as usual.
No, I'm asking if this is simple. Can anybody here
Conceptually it is,
replicate?
yes.
Shut up, Rumpus. I know you don't want this highlighting. I know
I
you
don't
need to
mind.
Rumpus the hangout. Who's got a vacuum chamber to replicate this? Hands up. Who can go outside and experience atmosphere and a rock on the ground? Hands up.
Yawn. Irrelevant stuff.
Sorry, who can go outside and just simply put a rock on the ground? Hands up.
Yawn.
Is that
All of
not
us here.
everybody can do that?
Me.
Yawn.
Anybody else can go out and put a rock on the ground in an atmosphere?
Yawn.
I can do it.
No, sirree.
So, getting trolled by P Mars while we hold Rumpus's toes to the fire. Don't know why you want to do it, P Mars. It's sad that your globe is getting ripped a new one again, with Rumpus obfuscating and removing the very thing we're discussing, i.e. the
Oh
atmosphere.
no! Wait, so here, Nathan. Can't you see it? Here's my medium. There's the medium you want.
No, this is a
there it
different
is.
example.
In all its glory, there it is.
Yeah,
I'm
you've got a
talking
medium
about
there.
it. I'm going to talk about it in detail.
Well, these two things aren't comparable then. You've got a medium in one and no medium in the other, so they're not comparable.
Correct, because you develop the argument.
So can you put this example in a
start
vacuum
simple.
chamber? Let's make this
You
one
start
simple.
simple.
Let's make this example simple. Can we
start
put this
simple,
example?
and then you develop
Let's
it.
make this example simple. Can we put this example in a vacuum chamber?
And then I give Anthony's
You're not
answer
answering
about
me.
the density.
You're not
here.
going to
We have a
answer me.
final conclusion.
Sorry, you're not going to answer me. Can we put
What's the
this
question?
example in a vacuum chamber, Rumpus?
Sorry, I missed the start of that question.
Can we put this example, the one that you're scrolling past now, this one, the
The
one on
buoyancy
screen,
one.
in a vacuum chamber?
Well, if you did, the water would all evaporate. So
Oh,
we'd be very
so that's not
clear.
very simple. So complicated things can happen in vacuum chambers. Oh dear.
Oh, absolutely. Of course they can. Yes, of course.
Oh,
they can.
really? Oh, I knew I'd get you to go high-pitched eventually. So
Well-
this isn't simplifying things then. You're making them more complicated with the example above by removing the air,
No,
the very
simple.
nature of the
Can
medium
I
you're
ask,
in.
can I ask some questions? I've waited ages and I'm really
Well, I
keen.
haven't been, Anthony, I haven't been able to get through my explanation at all so far.
Well, just-
That's because
to-
you're removing air from our situation, and we do have air, and we never have a vacuum situation to have to deal with, Rumpus.
There you are, Anthony. By the way, we'll look at this statement here about neutral buoyancy, and there's the formula for neutral
Let's
buoyancy.
take you off
might be
screen.
interested in.
You've not acknowledged anything I've said. You've denounced
Totally
everything I've said
disregarded the
without
water.
acknowledgement. We're talking about how things behave in mediums, and you're removing the medium in one of your examples.
No, here we are. It's like special with the medium. Here
No,
we
we're
are.
not. Here we are. Yes, you
With the
are.
medium.
You just
Here's
rumpused
the
me when I made
diagram
the
with medium,
point.
Nathan.
Get a hold of nigger.
Ah, P, why would you do it? P, no need. No need. No need. Why?
Here's the diagram with the medium.
I've not got your diagram presented anymore, Rumpus. You've
So you're
removed the
frightened
medium
of it, are you?
itself
Right,
in
you
one
suffer-
of your examples, so we don't need to see any more. Let's just get rid of P Mars. I don't know why he's in this kind of mood. My apologies to the audience and the rest of the panel for P Mars's nonsense. I can't help P Mars's behaviour.
So I think Anthony's actually interested in learning. You might not be interested in learning because you're an educational.
Excuse me. I have pointed out that in one of your examples you have removed the very thing we're talking about. the medium. We're talking about how things behave in a given medium. In this case, atmosphere, and you've sucked it out to make it simple. No. Now, I will point out that that is a demonstration of both disingenuous person like yourself trying to fool and trick the audience, because none of us have got a vacuum chamber. All of us can go out and make things simple and put rocks on the ground and see the effects of that rock in its medium, in this case the atmosphere. Now you can try and rumpus the hell out of the hangout so no one in the hangout can hear what I'm saying, but I'm just going to point it out and again and again and again while PMars simultaneously trolls the hangout. I can multitask, that's no problem, Rumpus. But you have removed the thing we're discussing about. You have removed the medium, and that is what we are discussing. The medium.
Trying to sabotage this explanation.
Right, Nathan, could I just ask a couple of questions of Rumpus, please?
Well, he's just rumpusing. You haven't heard a word I've just said, have you, Anthony?
No.
Right, so I'll point it out again, see if Rumpus lets me say it so that you can hear it.
You don't need
he won't. You can't censor reality, Rumpus. You can't censor reality, Rumpus. You can't censor reality, Rumpus. You can't censor reality, Rumpus.
Correct.
So I'll get to talk. I'll get to talk to Anthony. You can't censor reality, Rumpus. You can't censor reality. The Earth's obviously and observably flat, Rumpus. You can't censor reality. So, Anthony, what I said was, we are discussing how things behave in certain mediums. And Rumpus has removed the very thing we are discussing from one of his examples, which is why I've taken it off screen.
Yeah, just read the Skype message I sent you.
No problem. Ugh, PMars. Give up.
We need 2 more panel members.
No, we don't. We're watching it.
We're on the
Against
case.
trolls.
No, it's okay. We don't need 2 more panel members. If PMars wants to ruin it, like, let's just show PMars ruining it.
I have a question to ask, and it maybe seems silly, but you know how the common overall conception of gravity is things fall to the ground, right? That's the overall general understanding of gravity for the layman, let's say. Well, water falls to the ground in large quantities if you take a bucket and you turn it over. In a controlled imaginary environment like a globe head would do, like in Rumpus' example right there, that orthographic, not based in reality experiment to facilitate some sort of understanding of you need something imaginary to make something real. And that seems to be the philosophy with the globe head. Anyway, my question is, water. If they are claiming gravity exists, water debunks gravity, in my opinion, because it's supposed to curve and bend and do these things that these that they want to do. So I don't understand why, if they're going to explain gravity, let's use water.
Curve and bend? You mean around the globe, gravity?
It doesn't matter. Gravity in general, the way conceptually it's supposed to work, is it's supposed to attract to the center.
Yeah, but that's
okay. So hold on. You can look at a little drop. A little ant pushing a little ball, and we know that's what it's called, meniscus and surface tension, right?
Yes.
Caused by air pressure, right? So we have this constant air pressure, 14.7 psi, and it's pretty consistent. And then we've got this low pressure, and then we've got this high pressure. Now, barometer, that's also another indicator because it works off of pressure. Now, if gravity is holding gravity is holding the atmosphere in, and it's based on the density of the molecule and the center of Earth, right? The center mass of Earth. Well, how does hold on? Gravity doesn't grow. It's like a self-thinking force. It has specific. It's selective, and it doesn't make sense.
Gibberish.
So the selectivity that gravity displays, to me, debunks it.
It's not selective at all.
That's not my conceptualization of gravity at all. That is the mainstream mumbo jumbo scientism explanation.
That is the root of the vagina. That's where it comes out of.
No, that is where the infection is, and that we got to cure.
Now, the actual derivative of gravity is weight. That's it. Now, conceptually, you're going off, and you're not looking at water. Water debunks gravity. You
Water
cannot.
confirms
it doesn't.
gravity.
You
Water
cannot.
confirms gravity
can-
100%.
You can have 1,000,000 pounds of clouds in the sky, and trillions of water on the ground.
Yeah,
It's
you can.
selective. No, you cannot. It's selective.
Yeah, you
And
can.
The
It's
fact
dissolved.
that you
Dissolved. That changes
the
its
fact that you cannot
representation density.
down-
Yeah, it does.
This
Dissolution. Remember, salt in the water changes its
cannot
density.
the cloud.
Well, air dissolved
Gravity
in
gravity is not
water
present.
dissolved in air also changes its
Gravity is
density.
not
So yeah, it
present in
can do
water.
that.
It's
One
not,
at a time.
it's not present in water, and it's not present in clouds.
Yeah,
They're
it is.
two different. They're not. It's a
Yeah, it
density
is.
chamber. Earth acts like a density chamber.
Gibberish.
That's all it is. Earth
Gibberish.
is a
Utter
density
gibberish.
chamber.
Just making stuff
If
up.
we live in gas pressure, if we live in a gas pressure,
Why don't you talk about fairies as
It's
well?
a
'Cause that's all the sense you're
density
making.
chamber, and this is proven. This is proven.
You're talking about fairies.
This is proven by
You're in a
constant
fairyland.
mass. Mass doesn't necessarily equal weight.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
We can prove that.
Yeah, it does.
You can measure it. You put it on
I
some
understand.
scales.
You
Understand.
subject force to a
Understand what
mass,
you're
it
saying,
will
but
create
going back-
pressure.
I understand what you're saying, but you are not understand what you're saying because you're coming back from the conceptual version.
Really? Oh,
Gravity.
really? Yeah.
Water debunks it. It's selective.
No, it
Water
doesn't.
confirms gravity absolutely
Water-
100%.
No, it does not, because you cannot
Absolutely.
prove that
Yes.
you cannot prove
Where's
that.
its pressure coming from?
I'll tell you how you
Why
can't
is it
prove
not going in all directions? Why
How
is it
Exactly. It's got
no
direction.
specific
You can't
pressure?
prove it.
I mean, well done, Arwen, for spotting
Huh?
that. Gravity is the only thing that provides
How
a
you can't
direction.
prove it. Water is
Yeah, I
not
can.
attracted to the center of mass. You cannot
Who is
demonstrate it.
this? Earth flat
Center of mass. It's not going to a center of mass. It's going
You
down.
cannot. You cannot. You cannot
It's
calculate.
going
You
geodirectional
cannot
down.
demonstrate it. You will never ever be able
Oh,
to
really? I
demonstrate
can
the
demonstrate that
effects
water
of
goes down.
gravity on
Yeah,
water.
you can. Yeah, you
You
can
know-
build an aquarium
No,
of
I-
scales, and then you can
Right.
measure the pressure on
wait.
every
It's just
side
guys. Come on,
of
stop talking
that
over each other.
aquarium, and you'll
Wait,
see
that's it.
that the bottom
That's
one
it.
has the most pressure. The
It's a
side one
medium. It's a
less
medium
pressure.
that has. It's a
And,
medium
yeah.
that has weight. It's a medium. That's all it is. It's a
Oh.
medium. It's not gravity. It has no effect. You cannot show
Oh,
gravity
right.
affecting in the center of mass. You cannot.
Gibberish.
You cannot
Utter gibberish.
Not show it in large quantities. So the fact that you're using selective
You're just making stuff up.
selective conceptualize ideas.
You're just
but you
making
cannot
stuff up.
demonstrate
Like
them.
gravity, there's no scientific evidence of gravity. It's just made up.
Cannot
Yeah, I can.
You're
No
just making
scientific
stuff up.
evidence of
Flat
gravity.
Earth.
I can.
It's just making
No,
stuff up.
show
There's
me
no
how.
scientific evidence for gravity. Anybody who asserts gravity is a liar. There's no scientific backing for it. Rumpus saying he's just making stuff up. So are the people who claim gravity. There is no scientific evidence of gravity. If there was, they'd be
Get on some
presenting it.
scales, Nathan. Get on some scales.
Show me how
Sorry,
you can
sorry,
make
do
water
scales work in a
attracted to
medium?
the center of mass.
Scales.
Get on some scales, Nathan.
Do they work in a
Well,
medium?
No.
Do they work in a
Show me
medium?
how you can make water be
yes, they can.
attracted
Yes,
to the
I-
center
I-
of
I-
mass.
Yeah, oh, there's that high-pitched voice again. So they work in a medium. So your spring, analogous to a scale, that would need a medium like air to be in for it to work, would it? Yeah, you're a disingenuous sack of shit, Rumpus, and you always will be. You're only here to deceive
You're
people.
behaving like the intellectual infant you are.
Oh, right, now it's the ad hominins. No. A
God,
scale
you know
would
you're
require a
objectively an
medium.
idiot.
Your spring
No, you
is
are.
analogous
It's not
to a
ad hominem,
scale.
Nathan. It's
Every
just-
time I destroy your argument, right, that's when you Rumpus the hangout. You can't censor reality, Rumpus. You want to suck the air out of reality. That's what you want to do, you disingenuous liar. You're a liar. The Earth's flat. It's not a globe. Gravity's made up and there's no scientific evidence of it. And all you can do is try and censor reality by stopping the people in the hangout hearing me. That's all you're doing. Well done you. What a winner. What a loser.
So you're
Fancy for it to
objectively an idiot. So it's not an ad
Yeah,
hominem.
but more ad homs. I mute you for a few seconds and all I hear is a barrage of ad hominins. That's all you've got. You can Rumpus the hangout, but you can't censor reality. You can't suck the air out of reality, Rumpus.
You're objectively an
Can't
idiot.
censor reality, Rumpus. You
But
can't
you're
suck the air out of
objectively an
reality.
idiot.
You can't
Rumpus,
suck the air out of
control yourself,
reality. I can do
You're
it too.
objectively an
I
idiot.
can do it too, but I'll do it with a devastating destruction of your bullshit argument. You don't have any scientific evidence for a gravity world, Rumpus. You don't have any scientific evidence, my friend. If you
You
did,
do. Get on some scales.
oh, is that scientific evidence? Let's hear that high-pitched voice
Not
again.
scientific
When you
evidence.
tell me
Yes,
about
yes,
the
yes,
medium.
don't
Don't be an idiot,
Arwen's
Rumpus.
going to Rumpus me
Get on-
now. Tell me about
Get on
the
some scales,
medium.
Nathan,
Stop
and that-
doing
It's relative to a medium,
Directional
isn't it,
pressure is
Rumpus?
not proof.
Oh, Arwen's going to ruin this
Arwen,
point now.
do you
Well
know the
done.
difference
Thank you,
between
Arwen.
force and
You're a,
pressure?
you're a credit to
I'll
the side.
debunk.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to know if Arwen knows the
Yeah,
difference between
yeah,
force
I
and
do.
pressure.
Yeah, Rumpus wants to know all about what Arwen wants to know, while I tell the audience again, just to round this out, that Rumpus wants to censor reality. He wants to suck the air out of reality and then tell me all about how a scale I can get on proves his point, wherein his point has no air, has no medium. He's a disingenuous liar, and he has absolutely no scientific evidence for his assertion of gravity, and he never, ever will.
But come on, Arwen, tell me the difference between force and pressure.
Yeah, Arwen's not the
Right.
one devastating your point,
No,
my
I want
friend.
to answer that.
Come on,
Arwen's
Arwen,
not the
tell-
one
you keep on talking
destroying
about
your
force and pressure.
point.
You don't know the difference. Show
Can I
me.
answer
You
that?
talk to
Can I answer
Arwen.
that?
I don't mind. You have your own little conversation with Arwen while I tell the audience over and over again that there is no scientific validity whatsoever to an assertion of gravity. None. Zero scientific evidence. And the only way that they can try to claim they have proved it is with concepts and sucking the air out of our reality. That's all they've got. And when I point it out, Rumpus tries to devastate the hangout, because that's all he's got. You can't censor reality, Rumpus. You can't censor reality. You can't suck the world's air out. You want to be able to, but you never will, because you've got no scientific evidence of what you claim. You can have your own little conversation with Arwen if you choose. It won't stop me from destroying this point. If you had scientific evidence of gravity, you would have presented it long ago. And what you present is Cavendish gravity. You don't present
So
science.
He's an idiot.
And yet more ad
Come on,
homs.
Arwen.
Every time I unmute him, literally, all he's got is ad homs, while I point out that there's no scientific evidence of gravity. None.
Oh, absolutely. There's absolutely everything. It's all proved. Scales. Get on some scales, Nathan.
Yeah,
You'll
I'm going
find
to kick you
gravity
out.
there.
I'm going to kick you out.
You're a moron. Absolute moron. You really
Is that
are.
really all you've got, Rumpus?
I've got everything. I've got the whole body of science behind me, and
The
the fact you
whole
can
body
stand
of
on some scales
science.
to prove
I'd
gravity.
like scientific evidence of gravity.
Stand on some scales.
What's
If Ian
your-
keeps on muting me, he's
So
going to
what
get
is
into
your
trouble.
independent variable,
Well
Rumpus?
done, Arwen.
On
Took the
scales.
words out of my mouth.
Right. Well, if you want to conduct an experiment, you could do that, but you could. It's an observation.
No.
We could
give
do
me
that.
the independent
Excuse me, not
variable.
burden
Right,
of
the
proof.
independent variable.
Let's just mute him again. This isn't the burden of proof reversal, another logical fallacy used by a disingenuous liar. So we could do it, could we? No! You have asserted that you've got the whole body of science from us, so you will provide us with a scientific evidence of gravity, starting with Arwen's question, what is your independent variable? So, not get on a scale, give us a hypothesis. Not Rumpus the hangout, because you can't censor reality, Rumpus. You can
I'm
just...
trying to answer your question.
Go ahead.
Right. So on a scales, the independent variable is the mass you decide to place on the scales, and the dependent variable is the value that the scales return, which is the gravitational force. Now they might.
Right, let's just rip that a new asshole. So the dependent variable, your observed phenomena in science is what, Rumpus? Is it
I
something
just told
man-made? Is it the man-made gauge on a
Oh
scale?
my god!
Oh my god, let's just rip it a proper new one while Dickhead here blasphemes. So, your observed phenomena, your dependent variable, is something that occurs in the natural world, not man-made. Science is a study of the physical and natural world, not man-made scales.
You're saying it defies the laws of physics, Nathan? Are you
Your
saying it
observed
defies the laws
phenomena
of
is a
physics?
man-made device. This isn't science.
So what? But it's measuring laws. It complies to the laws of physics.
Sorry, we're not measuring the laws of physics. We are doing science. And in science, we observe natural phenomena, not man-made.
It's not man-made. The value shown that.
Sorry, scales are man-made. Don't tell me that they're not man-made and then tell me about what a value gives, you complete retard. Not only are you disingenuous if you are to assert that a value on a scale is not man-made, you are retarded.
You're an idiot. If you.
No, my assertion of your retardation comes along with a devastating destruction of your argument. In science, your dependent variable is your observed phenomena, and your observed phenomena will take place in the natural world, not man-made.
You don't know what pressure is.
Excuse me, don't tell me what I don't know. I know science, and we are not observing natural phenomena. You don't have science. If you had science, you'd be presenting it. You wouldn't have a layman pointing out that your dependent variable is man-made over and over again. That's because you're not a scientist. You are, in fact, a fuckwit.
Tell me what pressure is, Arwen.
Yeah, no, Arwen, my name's Nathan, the one destroying your argument. I know you want to have a cross conversation with Arwen while I destroy your argument. I'll make my assertion again, having destroyed it twice. You have no scientific evidence of gravity. The thing you are claiming with drawings and concepts where you suck the reality out of our world. I will destroy this over and over again.
Just speak over him.
No problem.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, just give your answer.
Sorry, are you having a conversation regardless of whether or not I'm talking?
Correct.
I'm
right.
not.
Well, then you get out. This is my show. If you think you can be so rude as to ignore the host, then you get out of the party. You don't ignore the host of the party, rumpus. Bye-bye.
I have a question to ask, if you don't mind, Nathan. It's towards Arwen.
Go ahead.
Arwen, do you really think that do you really think that when they mine gold, they put gravity into the equation when they sell it for ounces? In other words, if they mine gold around the North Pole and they sold gold down to the equator, your gravity, do you think it would affect the gold prices?
Hello. 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 Hey guys. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, bud. Anyway, Arwen, I know that you say that you
Can I join the conversation, guys?
Well, we're trying to have something going on. I don't know what's going on right now. I think Arwen's out. I see Nathan's still here.
I'm always here.
Is that a plain truth?
Yeah. No, it's not a plain truth, but it's the plain truth. So whatever that means for you.
Sorry about that. You sent me an email today, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. What's up, man?
Not much, but yeah, I'm interested in what you were suggesting.
Jose.
Sure. Yeah, I've just got to get it all nailed down and get stuff set up. But yeah.
So do you guys don't think Earth is a big density chamber? You don't think the world is set up that way? If you go deep into the ocean with a container, it crushes in. You go high up into the atmosphere, the can explodes. That's evidence of a density chamber.
Evidence of Travis's football game that he's watching. Right, I'm going to round out for a short break, guys. So with that, I'm going to say first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live panel for making this debate possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. You've probably done it already. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!